It's time for another Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast. Thanks for joining me this time around. We'll be talking with Sarah Patterson, who is the director of RSVP in Newton, in just a couple of moments about all the programs that they have. First, a word from our sponsors, including Lynette Baker, account executive for Halo Branded Solutions. If you need pens, pencils, calendars, if you need coffee mugs, if you need any kind of promotional product, give Lynette a call at 515-957-2434. That's 515-957-2434, Halo Branded Solutions. Also by Johnson Aviation. The folks out there, Ethan and Lisa, would like you to come on by and find out about flying lessons. And in fact, during this time of year, you can give the gift of flight for Christmas or for Hanukkah, whatever the case might be. They're charging only $60 for an introductory flight lesson at Johnson Aviation. Give Ethan a call at 641-792-1292. That's 641-792-1292 for that $60 introductory flight lesson from the gang at Johnson Aviation. Also sponsored by Newton Clinic. Do you need care today? Well, Newton Clinic's walk-in clinic is here for you. Whether it's a minor illness or an urgent concern, they're ready to help. Walk-ins available Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 8:45 a.m. and 4:45 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to noon. No appointment is necessary, just expert care when you need it at Newton Clinic PC. Also by Westside Java Coffee Bar. Head on in there for your lattes, or I like their hot chocolate they have at Westside Java. Check it out. Also, Free Classified Weekly. You can find the Free Classified Weekly all over town. The Salvation Army in Newton with the bell ringing campaign going on. You bet. Get in on that Red Kettle campaign and sign up to ring bells at registertoring.com. Also, the Pizza Ranch at I-80 and Highway 14 in Newton. Check them out. They have a delicious breakfast bar every Saturday and Sunday morning starting at 9 a.m. And also by Advantage Credit Union.
Ho, ho, holy mistletoe! Are you still being fleeced on your monthly vehicle payments? Give yourself an early Christmas gift and refinance your sleigh ride with Advantage Credit Union. We'll have you dancing and prancing down the driveway as you save on your monthly payments and lower your interest rate. Best of all, you don't have to leave the comfort of your home to sign the paperwork. You can stay warm and cozy in your Santa pants and sign everything electronically. Call or text Advantage Credit Union today to get started.
Federally insured by the NCUA.
Time for another Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and this time I'm with Sarah Patterson, who is the, let me see if I get this right, RSVP Director and Grant Manager.
That's right, 100%.
I did that correctly.
Yes, you did.
Okay, great. We're off to a good start then.
Right.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, I want to talk to you a little bit before we talk about RSVP, about your background. I think people around the Newton area, many of you know you as the Aqua Girls swim coach.
Yeah, longtime Aqua Girls swim coach. I started in the fall of 1991 at Newton High School, fresh out of Iowa State, and I liked the job, the idea of the job, because there was a swim coach job with the English teaching position. And I took the job, and honestly, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I thought I would stay in this fairly small town for a couple of years, and here I am all these years later. So I taught at the high school for 32 years, high school English and some at-risk work, and coached girls and boys swimming, did a stint in coaching soccer, track, and even girls wrestling.
Wow, girls wrestling. How about that?
I did that for a year. They wanted a female coach in the room when boys and girls were still together, and it was neat. I wish I would have gotten into that earlier in my career, honestly, but it was a great experience.
So what made you decide you wanted to be director of RSVP?
Well, I retired, and I knew it was retiring from teaching, but I knew I probably wasn't done, that I would want a part-time job. And I saw Tammy Welchers, our office manager, and I saw her sister, Jennifer, at First New National Bank, and she said, gosh, would you know anybody, or would you be interested in this position? And I didn't know much about RSVP, I'll be 100% honest, but I thought, that sounds interesting. And, I debated, do I want to work at a coffee shop? Do I want to try to get into something that is going to be more intensive? And this job has been a great fit for me.
Good. Why has it been a great fit?
It's been a great fit because I get to work with people. Every day is different, just like teaching. I might work on a grant, I might work on a budget, I might host a social, I might be preparing lunch for somebody, visiting with the team, motivating volunteers, creating a flyer. I mean, it's a mix of computer work and people work, and I've met so many wonderful people through this job.
And what does RSVP stand for?
That is a fabulous question. RSVP stands for Retired Senior Volunteer Program.
Okay. And what do you refer to a senior as?
A senior is 55 plus.
Okay.
So I qualify, which is nice. So I'm in the age group, which kind of gives me an insight into what that lifestyle might be like. I mean, I'm partially retired. Some of our volunteers are in the same position. They're partially retired. A lot of our volunteers have been retired for a while. And some volunteer in areas that are familiar to them that would have been in their professional lives. Others say, I want to do something completely different.
Okay. It was recommended to me to do a podcast with you by a guy who is a volunteer, and he drives veterans from Newton to the Veterans Hospital for their medical treatments and back all the time, but he said you're in bad need of volunteers.
We sure are. Jasper County Ride is probably the program that has the biggest impact on people in need in Jasper County. If you don't have a ride to a medical appointment, if you don't have family or friends in the area that can take you or could take off work to take you, or some people have, dialysis or cancer treatments and they need to go multiple times a week. That's a big commitment, even from a family member. So we provide rides for people that have to get to those needed medical appointments. And it's an absolutely critical program. We give about 1,000 rides a year, roughly. Wow. And we have 22 active drivers, 4 of whom right now are snowbirds. So we're down to about 18.
Oh, gosh.
And not everybody drives out of town either, which is great. We do need people in town, too. So when we're talking about people who can go to Iowa City, who can go to Des Moines, who can go to Knoxville, who can go to Marshalltown, that becomes a smaller number yet. So we really are in need. And the thing I absolutely want to stress is if you were to volunteer for this program or any of our programs, you can pick and choose how much time you want to allocate. I think people are protective of their time, which I understand. I was retired for about a month and a half, completely retired, and you kind of feel like, gosh, I don't want to jump back into something. But let's say a person signs up to become a ride driver. We have a computer program they look at, and they can pick up a ride once a week if they want. Or they can say, gosh, I'm going to be gone for the whole month of January, but I'll come back in February. And it's really kind of it's a pick and choose kind of a deal, and you really can do as much or as little as you have time for, or like you feel you have time for.
Testimony on Jasper County Rides. I almost used Jasper County Rides. I didn't because I had a friend that took me to where I needed to go, but last year I had 2 appointments at an eye doctor to get cataract surgery.
Right.
And my significant other hates driving on the interstate, plus she works during the day. So I filled out the paperwork. So there's some paperwork to fill out if you want to volunteer for this, right?
Right. So if you want to either become a client or a volunteer, I'll go through both those processes. So if you would like to become a client, you do need to either stop in or we can mail you the information. And we just need the basics: your name, your address, your contact information, emergency contact information, because we sure want to be able to get a hold of you. And then we put that into our system so people can, see where the rides are going to be. And we might ask you, do you know where you're going to be going potentially? And a lot of people do. So that's the process as a client. And we definitely understand if you can't make it into the office, which is why, if you can't drive and you don't have other resources, we will do it through mail. And, we take good care of our clients too. If you want to become a volunteer, first step would be to become an RSVP member, which is absolutely free. And you would stop in the office and fill out paperwork. We do a background check on all of our volunteers, which obviously is peace of mind for all of our clients, the schools, the hospital, wherever we send our volunteers, they've all been background checked. There is extra insurance on you if you do become a driver. We cover you beyond your own driver's license or driver's insurance. And we do reimburse for mileage. We reimburse 0.67 miles per gallon, which is the federal rate, which is a pretty good reimbursement. And so you do use your own vehicle. And we have to make sure clients are able to get in. So if you have a van or an SUV, some clients need a sedan or a smaller vehicle, and we do match people up to their needs. So it is a really great system. It's been around for a while. It started at Mercy One, or what was known as SCIF, and we gradually took it over, I think, in about 2012, if I'm not mistaken. And it's been in our in-house ever since then. So
It is a great program. Now, if people listening want to volunteer, how can they go ahead and do that, Sarah?
So if they want to volunteer, contact us. Either give us a call, come into the office. We are open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 4:30, and Fridays from 8 to noon. We have a nice short day on Friday. And get the paperwork to become, first of all, an RSVP volunteer. And then after a background check, we simply sign you up to be an RSVP ride driver, and you're in the program. And the background check, we literally get those back in 2 days. And we'll walk you through the program online. If you're not online, we do have some drivers that are not online. We will call you and, for our ride clients and say, hey, can you pick up Shirley Jones on Thursday at 10 if we know that you like to drive in town, or if you have favorite clients.
Okay, all right, fantastic. Well, I know for a fact that RSVP does more than just that ride program.
That's right.
And tax season is coming up soon. And I was on the United Way board, and in fact became president of United Way, and I found out about the tax assistance that you guys have going on. And it's fantastic. It really is a money saver for people who are of a certain age and of a certain income. Maybe you can expound on that, Sarah.
Absolutely. So this is our VITA tax program, again, a program that's been going on for a long time, and it is a no-cost tax assistance program. It is designed for low to moderate income, seniors, veterans, disabled. We do have the capability to help people for whom English is a second language, and people who just struggle with tax rules, with tax laws. I mean, who doesn't? I don't know anybody that cheers when it's tax time to do their own taxes. And if you take your taxes somewhere, and nothing against people who are tax preparers, but there's a cost. And if you're a single mom with 3 kids and you're paying $200 to $300 to get your taxes prepared, that's money that gets taken away from groceries, gas, your kids' needs. And we really take pride in being able to provide this service for Jasper County.
Now, what is the age that you can qualify for this, and what is the income? Because I know that there are those stipulations in place.
The threshold income is $67,000.
Okay.
So if you have $67,000 and below, and we have a little wiggle room on that. No farm income, no rental income. We have limits of things that we can take on, and we go through Tax Slayer. So all of our preparers are IRS certified. But we do go through Tax Slayer, and it kind of limits some of the things we can do. Let's see. You asked about age. It is designed for seniors. I would say probably 55 and up, but I'll be 100% honest. If you're qualifying in the threshold income, we're not going to ask any questions. And really, that's kind of the qualifications there.
So for this program, and maybe for the rides program too, how are they funded, Sarah?
So we are 100% grant funded. We are supported by Iowa State Extension and Outreach. We are housed here. We get in-kind grant money, I guess we'll call it. But we are grant funded. The federal government is our biggest, or AmeriCorps, I should say. AmeriCorps is our biggest grant funder. United Way, Jasper County Board of Supervisors, City of Newton, Mercy One funds Jasper County Ride. We got a Tyson's grant this year. State of Iowa, the Volunteer Iowa funds us. The American Legion donates to our ride program. So it really is a mixture of funding that allows us to do what we do.
That's great. Just from a personal point of view, getting back to the tax program, my former boss, I worked at KCOB in the 80s, and John Carl was the owner of the radio station at that time. And I know that for several years now, he's been a tax preparer for RSVP. God bless him for that. That's great. And unbeknownst to me, he did my taxes. Somebody did the intake for me.
Sure.
Somebody else did the whole, maybe it was Dennis James or someone, but to get my taxes back and get all the paperwork back, I had to go see John. And he said, Jamie, I got you some more money from the IRS.
Sounds like John.
And I said, John, that's great. You know how radio pays. So we had a good laugh over that. He's a good guy, and all those tax preparers are great. And just a side note, I'm with Newton Rotary, and last year we supplied lunches for those tax preparers on Tuesday. So don't forget to talk to Newton Rotary about that when it comes to tax time.
I was planning on it.
Good.
Because we do offer lunch to our volunteers every day, which is a perk, because if you think about it, they're retired, but volunteering 2 to 3 days a week. And we're not talking about a couple of hours. We're talking from 8 to 4 with that lunch break in the middle. So we feel like that's the least we can do.
Sure.
John Carl is a great personality, and he's no nonsense. He's going to talk to you about your taxes and help you out.
Tell me about it.
Right. So we do have an intake person. That would be the person you would see. Well, first you would see one of our wonderful greeters that would greet you and make sure, look at your ID and that kind of thing. And then you would see the intake person who basically gathers information. Then we have the tax preparer, who is kind of behind the scenes. And then we do have a quality review check that cannot be the same person as the tax preparer. So we have this 3-tiered system that works really well. And they're of course double checking to make sure there are no errors and that we're getting the most money back for our clients. I saw it in action. This is my first, I'm a little past the first year on the job, and I saw the whole process in action last year, and it is quite the operation.
Yeah.
We have people that have done this now for 20 years.
Wow.
Dennis Julius, Bill Harrison is our celebrated tax return preparer, who celebrated his 93rd birthday last year.
God bless him. Yeah.
During tax season.
Wow.
He does military returns. Honestly, he's probably our most esteemed tax preparer. All around great guy.
Good.
And all of our volunteers are fabulous.
That's fantastic. Are there other programs we should know about that RSVP is involved in, Sarah?
Absolutely. So Jasper County Ride is probably the most well-known, and as I said, probably the biggest impact on those in Jasper County really in need of that service. The VITA program, the economic impact we make there, we served over 600 people last year. Now, some people find out they don't have to file, which is nice. So I think we actually filed 567 tax returns last year. And then we have a number of other programs. We are in the schools. We have a Pen Pal program with Baxter third graders. And again, this program has a longevity. So our volunteers write back and forth to these third graders all year.
How sweet is that?
Oh, it is so sweet. And the neatest part of all is when we get to see the meet and greet in May, and the volunteer gets to meet the child that they've been writing to all year. And I witnessed that for the first time last year, and we had a full hour, and the kids were supposed to sit with their volunteer and visit. And I thought to myself, having been a teacher, I thought, well, that's a long time for a third grader to visit. And I'm telling you, they were absorbed in each other, just visiting. But they'd shared, these personal and interesting things all year. So that was a delight. We had a beautiful day. We were at a park. That was neat. So in addition, we have the Heart Reading program. So we are in the Newton Community Schools in first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. And we are really proud this year that we are in every second grade classroom. So it's been a bit hit and miss. And then COVID, of course, really did a whammy on this program.
Well, what is that program anyway?
So it's a literacy program. So they work with kids in their reading. The kids read to the volunteers, or the volunteers read with them, or if they're practicing their sight words. And honestly, a big part of it is mentoring the kids, loving the kids, believing in the kids. There are always kids that just need extra. And whether it's literacy practice, whether it's just that confidence that you can do it, or I'm so excited to see you this week, just that extra pat on the back. It goes a long way with kids. So we're in the schools. We actually, when you hear the sirens once a month, we have people in the community that listen and make sure the sirens can be heard, that they're working. They return a card, so we're a part of that emergency preparedness. We are at the Jasper County Historical Museum. We are docents there. We volunteer. We help with exhibits. We are at the Jasper County Genealogical Society. We are at Mercy One. We are the ambassadors when you walk in. We're in the gift shop. We're in the cancer center. We have been at Neil Smith in the past. We don't have anybody there currently, but that would be a neat opportunity for anybody listening that would like to be a part of the Neil Smith Wildlife area. And we do some administrative clerical work around town if somebody would like volunteers, probably leaving something out. But yeah, we are so many places.
Wow, that's fantastic. Speaking of the Jasper County Historical Museum, have you been out to the Tremendous Christmas experience yet?
Jamie, we have a tree out there.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Jasmine,
that's great.
My coworker and I went out and decorated an RSVP tree. I believe we have a 4-H tree out there as well. It is. I saw it for the first time last year, and I still have this glowing pink vision of the breast cancer tree that was just, I mean, it lit up in this pink with decorations, and you could just see how passionate people were about raising awareness and for the survivors and even those that have passed from breast cancer.
Well, that's fantastic. Any other things you want to add about RSVP that people might not know about?
Stop by and see us at the Extension office. And what we do here at Extension, I know we're here to talk about RSVP, but I have to promote Iowa State Extension. We really are an amazing place here and in the state of Iowa. Iowa State Extension was developed to bring the knowledge of Iowa State to the people. And we have a hotline that will answer your questions from cooking to baking to pesticides. We have a master gardener, Carol Camp is here. You can call her, you can come in with a weed, a plant. You can call her crying and tell her your favorite house plant's dying. We have, as I mentioned, 4-H here. We have educational programs. So for example, RSVP, under the Iowa State Extension umbrella here, we're offering Naxalone training on June 30th, that Narcan, that opioid reversal training here on January 30th. I mean, we just offer so many things here that people just don't know. So I would say just take a moment and kind of acquaint yourself about all we do. And I also want to say RSVP is a coin, and we have two sides, as all coins do. So we're here for making an impact on Jasper County and residents, but we are also here for you that are retired. We want to enrich your retirement life. We want to make Jasper County a place that you still feel valued and purposeful by giving back. And I think that's the piece of the puzzle that makes a good life. You know, when I was briefly retired, and I've shared this story many times, I had a fun day. I played pickleball. I walked my dog. I read all the things I dreamed about doing in retirement, but there was something missing. And I think that was the interaction with people and giving back and putting my head in the pillow at night, knowing that I'd made a difference, no matter how small. And that's what we are. So anybody out there that's looking for that piece of the puzzle, or if you just want to know about us, no obligation, come see us.
Fantastic. Again, we need volunteers for Jasper County rides. And if people want to contact you, if they have time to volunteer to help folks getting from point A to point B, how do they do that, Sarah?
So the first step would be come see us. We're here at the DMAC building. We're in the southeast corner. I always have to visualize this. We're in the southeast corner of the DMAC building. We have our own entrance. Stop in and we can connect you with the paperwork to become an RSVP volunteer, first of all, and then become a Jasper County ride driver. You for sure can give us a call, 641-792-6433. If you'd just like a little more information or want to tell us about yourself. So those would be the ways to get a hold of us.
Yeah. And tax time starts next month.
Yes,
and,
February 4th.
And don't forget about RSVP's VITA tax program.
Right.
And you can get a hold of Sarah for that also.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for chatting with us today.
Thank you for having me, Jamie. This has been great.
Sarah Patterson, our interview guest on the Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast. She is the director of RSVP in Newton. This podcast also sponsored by Tony Pesca, Iowa Realty. She found the right home for Little Red and myself, and she'll find the right home for you too. Just give her a call at 641-417-8484. That's 641-417-8484. Tony Pesca, Iowa Realty. Yeah, we looked for a number of homes, and we kept going from place to place. And some of them just weren't a right fit for us. And then we finally found the right one through Tony. And if you're looking to buy or sell, give Tony Pesca a call. She'll take good care of you. Tony Pesca, Iowa Realty. Also sponsored by Ryan's Tire and Auto. They're honored to be nominated for the 2025 Small Business Local Business Champion Award by the Greater Newton Area Chamber of Commerce. The folks at Ryan say they are so grateful for their loyal and incredible customers who trust them with their vehicles. The nomination is a reflection of you and the community they're so proud to serve every day. Winning this award would mean the world to them because it's dedicated to people who matter the most, which is you. Thanks from Ryan's Tire and Auto on First Avenue, Newton. Also, Clement Mackey Insurance in Newton. On their Facebook page, they say, don't underestimate sleet dangers. Boy, we had a problem with freezing ice the other day and sleet, and winter's not over with us yet, and they suggest to take it easy when shoveling, use extreme caution when driving, reduce your speed, and allow plenty of stopping distance too, and don't use cruise control when there is sleet or ice on the roads. You can check them out on their Facebook page. And this podcast also sponsored by Newton Des Moines East KOA.
Introducing RV Sales Made Easy at the Newton KOA and Timberline in Waukee. We're here to take the stress out of selling your RV. Listing an RV online can be time-consuming. Our experts step in to handle the details so you can relax while we do the hard work. We act as your trusted partner from start to finish. That means everything from assessing your RV's value and creating standout marketing to negotiating with buyers and finalizing the sale. Call today, Newton KOA or Timberline Campground in Waukee to schedule your appointment to sell your RV. 563-340-6374. We make it easy for you.
Until next time, out is out. See ya.